Oof, I'm excited, y'all, because I have so much to share. I haven't done this in a while, so there's so many goodies that have been coming to me that I have the opportunity to share with you all because it's clicking now more than ever in my life. My mom and I just went to dinner and we had a really, really good conversation about how I'm so much like my father. And for my mom to say that, both of us together with sharing our own experiences separate from one another, we discovered that I, in the family, imprinted the most with my father, and my sister imprinted the most with my mom. And because of that, I love the way my father did, and my sister loves the way my mother did. And this came up because I asked my mom if her experience of us traveling, going to dinner, new experiences is same, different, or close enough to what she would experience with my sibling. Why do I share this? Because I'm a true believer that there is no separation from you healing as a human, you healing as an entrepreneur, you healing as a mama, you healing as whatever, insert identity here. There is no separation. And so in my mom sharing that, it just literally clicked for me that the key in business, the key in relationships in life and anywhere really, is to have a really good balance of your caretaker's roles that were positive impacts on you. Even the shadow ones, because it gives you an opportunity to grow and to learn who you are. And I'm realizing that since I imprinted so much with my dad, I learned my relational intelligence through his blueprint and the way he would approach relationships. And it is shown in every piece of what I do, what I touch. And it's so funny, but they say that the way you do one thing's the way you do everything. And I have found that mostly to be true. There's not just coincidences, like there's patterns with things. And when, as a human, you develop to the point where you literally are able to, in the moment, catch, is this a pattern I have? And is it helping me in my love, in my work, in my parenting, and whatever it might be? It's the moment of awareness. It doesn't mean that it's going to take you as long to do it over time. And I think that's where it gets really fun in the entrepreneurial game. I think that's the best part, because you're not scared anymore of looking at what is really, really uncomfortable, but you have to look at. You just have to look at it, no matter how messy, up, down, right, left, blue, yellow it is. You look at it and you're like, all right, I gotta see this, because it's your level of awareness that you can't bullshit yourself anymore. So if you're somebody that's like, I just really need help. I have all the resources. I just need to find the right person. I haven't been able to. I haven't pulled the trigger to hire the right person for X thing. Man, I can relate to this so much. It's my fear. It's my ego behind not being able to delegate. And the moment that you have a positive experience with two things, okay? Like two things have to happen here. And all this I've been learning, literally stacking information I get from the reflection mirror of my mom, that I'm now her full-time caretaker. And it's insane what comes to me when I put her perspective and then I get my perspective, and then I have so much clarity. It's a whole other level than what I've had in all my other existence and years and experience of trying to understand something at warp speed, because now it literally just like clicks. So any single time I have an experience, I am now able to ask myself, as the architect of my life, do I like what I see? Like, do I like this experience? Yes, let's redo that again. Like, let's recode, remix, like, let's try that. And now with strawberries, and now with berries. And now I'd absolutely love for this experience in business to be blank. And then the more clarity you have with it, with the amount of gratitude and desire, the quicker it comes to you, whether it's in business, whether it's in love, whether it's in all of it. And it's funny because I feel like what do I want to call it? Like, I finally tapped into the flow, I guess I want to call it, or like the easy phase, the quick phase, I don't need to be doing so much for X thing to come into my life for me to experience it. And so many times now I have this like, this is my process, and this is why I'm sharing this. There's so many times I have this like kind of like when you're checking for somebody, but instead of somebody, it's are you sure it gets to be this easy? And I'm just talking to my higher self, like, are you like really? This is how it can be? And my higher self is like, yeah, like, where you been? Like, I've been waiting for you to realize that. It's the same thing with any other piece of your life. It's like a puzzle piece that when somebody gifts as a gift, as a love, as an investment in you, and whatever you want to call it, gives you that puzzle piece that you've been missing, it's life-changing. And here's the funniest piece, because the pieces that my mom now is giving me for me to understand very quickly is that my attachment, is that my ego, is that my inability to allow and surrender. It's so quick now that I'm able to pick up the piece she gives me and stick it in where I've had holes to understand my patterns. But now it's like, here, let me show you guys. It's like this. Like, now instead of being like, oh, I don't know what this is, like, here's my daddy issues, here's my mama, like, stuff, and then here's my persona, my insert challenge, hurt, trauma, whatever here, right? So what I've realized now is that the most co-starring characters in my life, meaning like the ones that got the most play, the most impact, were the ones that had the puzzle piece I needed. And it's so funny, but the most important ones are the ones, were the ones that hurt the most. And you know what, I almost stopped myself of like, no, hell yeah, that hurt. It hurt so much. It was like this unbearable pain, this pain of like, I feel it so deep and so pure. Damn, like, oof, like this was heavy. Like, I knew it was heavy, but I didn't know it was like this heavy. Like, damn, I've been carrying that. And the moment I allowed myself freely and honestly and not bullshit myself and just literally feel it, like feel all of it through my entire body to recognize it. It took me out. It took me out. Like, I had nothing left inside me. I had no energy. It was like a deep cleaning. Like, where you tell all the people to get out of the pool. Do not be in the pool while we clean this pool. It was even with like food. Like, I didn't want to touch certain things because they were so dense and so heavy, that what I needed for my body to recover and restructure itself after feeling the deep hurts that were the puzzle pieces I needed, things have been getting lighter. I also crave things that are lighter. I crave light foods like salads, fruit, like very high vibrational energy. And it's the same thing with like environments, and I'm realizing that. This is really crazy, but what I do is I really don't plan. I kind of just go by the moment, and maybe it's just that toxica in me that still likes that little like am I gonna find something? But I usually just pick places to stay during travel or getting to know a place or yada yada. Just jump on my phone and I'll have different things help me that already know me, that already I talk with it every day. Like maybe it might be like an algorithm that understands like what I desire aesthetically. Maybe it's chat where I ask like a question, a word, a certain style of a design of yada yada yada, since I'm into like design and just space, like space creation. And that's what I did today. I stuck in like what I was desiring of the feeling instead of going logically. Instead of being like, I need a hotel for blank days for da-da-da, whatever, must have jacuzzi, must have da-da-da, whatever, okay. What I did is backwards. I backwards engineered the experience. And interestingly, it was better than I thought. It was better than I expected, like pleasantly surprised. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that after feeling all those deep hurts, like the deep ones, you know what I'm saying? Like the deep, deep, deep cleansing ones, the ones you stick all the way in the back of your mind, in the back of the closet, in the back of your heart, where you're like, I know that shit's there, but I don't want to look at it, right? Like you save it, you're like for later. It's the later bucket tab. I realized that the longer I kept those in my bucket, the longer I was delaying my gifts. The longer I was delaying my abundance, my super uber level of clarity. Insert here. Whatever is meant to come and flow wasn't going to come if I didn't empty out the basket, right? Like trash. If I didn't empty out the trash can, so then there's memory. Some of those were forced, that's for sure. Definitely a lot were forced. I'm not gonna lie. Like they were so painful. I was like, I don't want to go through this. Like even going through it emotionally, somatically, and spiritually all felt like grabbing like when you're on a roller coaster and you have the bar thing in front of you and you're like hanging on for dear life. That's how I felt this year. And I had like oh man, I had like probably more than 4 or 5, and I'm probably just being generous with myself right now of like, oh, like that one doesn't count. It's painful. It's so painful, and I think this is what a lot of people, I'm going to say, like now that I know how painful it is and how much, and then first step is to feel it, right? Like acknowledge, feel it. And then comes a second phase that's like, this hurts like heck, and you're trying to get to heal it. I don't know about you, but that process takes a minute. And then after that is the phase of, now what do I do with my new train of thought? Now what do I do with my new body? Now what do I do with my new consciousness? What do I do with all this new, right? And that's been so much energy, because it's like, oh man, it feels like God handed me a new pair of roller skates and said, try these on. And I remember in my childhood that anytime I got new skates, it would set me back into like an anxiety mode, because I was trying so hard to get back to the level I knew I could have, but I wasn't taking into account the time it was going to take me to catch up to where I used to be. And so it's the same thing with healing the deep things you never wanted to look at, which you did, because for you to use your new gifts and your new awareness and your new consciousness after the phase of healing it, there's a delay. There's a delay in it. Literally, it's just like a computer. Like when you download something, it takes a minute. Some software is quicker than others to like go through applications, desktop, yada yada, right? It's the same thing with humans. Like there's a gap. And so these last 3 months, October, November, December, like, yeah, have been that phase, that container, that new experience environment up here, where it's like you know that there's something new, but you're so used to grabbing the things you already know and you know how to use and you've been with for so long that you need to redirect yourself. So it's, here's my old version and I know it's accessible at any time, but I have to choose the higher path and go with the one that's new identity, new growth, new compassion, right? Like all the features. And I have to like use that identity so that it becomes integrated, and it's not even a question, it's already embedded, it's already coded, it's already in alignment. It's not what you do, it's like, it's who you are. It's just basic, like, period. And I've been doing that a lot more with different things in my life, a lot more. And it's mind-blowing to me why I just never did it before. Simply because I just wasn't at that stage of evolution, if I wasn't at that stage of consciousness. Because the other thing I've been realizing is, it's one thing to have a different level of consciousness than those around you or other people, or insert contrast here. It's a whole other thing to know that you have it in your back pocket as something that became a habit. And that's why, like, right, the beliefs, the actions, and what you do all go into the puddle of, is this identity this person says that they are in alignment with actually what they do, what they say, what they believe, and what they do as a routine and a habit every single day. It's the integrity part. It translates 100% to business. 100%. Any single time I've had a challenge in business, any single time I've had a client that was a mismatch, any single time that I got stuck, it was all a mirror of other places I was stuck in the exact same way. It literally was just a mirror. It was just a mirror. So I had to look at things and be like, whoa, holy moly. The quicker I got at identifying patterns, the quicker I'm able to read people, the quicker I'm able to make decisions. And I don't need to get to the end of the lesson to understand it's not for me. Discernment. Then there was another upgrade in my consciousness, that in order to attract what we desire in business and life and love and whatever it is that you're working on and you're creating and you're building, you must understand there are different perspectives. And that's been one of the most mind-blowing but so simple of a principle that I keep in mind now. That although I think this is what happened, in somebody else's world and somebody else's perspective and consciousness, something completely different might have happened in the same moment. And so now, here's what I've realized. Like this is in most places. I try my best not to argue with somebody that I know has a different perspective than I do in what happened in the exchange. If you apply that literally to business, you will never, ever, ever waste time fighting with clients that are mismatched. You will never, ever, ever waste time on somebody that doesn't respect your time. You will never, ever, ever allow somebody to say, this is what you promised, this, and this, and you not be able to bring out and say, I asked you to read through this. I didn't have you pay before you read through this. So you know exactly what it is that we are offering, right? You don't have to go through any of that because it's already embedded in you to be aligned. And so the more aligned you are with yourself, your beliefs, your actions, like just who you are in general, the quicker and faster it is for people to mirror that are attracted to what it is that you help with. It's quicker. And then there's a new level to that, right? And then the next level is, well, that's already happening. Do I want to work with them, right? Just like dating, like we already know like this. We already know this. But do I enjoy that client? Do I feel a sense of merged missions in coherence with what I believe about blank, right? It's such a beautiful feeling when you're in flow with, and I've had that where it's so delicious because they're concepts that very, very few people would understand unless they are then a match for you. And that's how you'll know. You don't have to over explain yourself because they just get it. It's just kind of like when you tell somebody something and then they literally like, same, like, yeah, like say less. It's such a beautiful saying, like say less. You don't have to say anything. And it's such a different energy. It's such a different energy that you get to a point where solitude is legit currency. Your solitude becomes something so precious, so purposefully private. That's exactly what it is. It's purposeful. That you keep that tucked away for you, for no one else. It's not swayed. It's not called out on. It's not trembled. It's not any of it. It's yours. It's yours. It's 100% the way you move in life. The way that you are now choosing to move differently, literally move differently. And the more you move, the more chances you get to choose how you move. That's why action is so important. Like you can think it you want all day, right? Like visionaries, great ideas, but unless you have the integrator, you need a balance. Because it's so funny, but I thought for the longest that I was a lot more integrator. The structure, the get it done, hire this, hire that, checklists, SOPs, operations, yada yada. But then I discovered that I actually had more visionary. I just never allowed myself to have more visionary because I was always people's structure, like my dad. The more structure I've had in my business, the more opportunity I've been gifted to be in visionary mode. Visionary, I need like a day. I need like 2 days, like blocks. That way I'm able to get to the deepest flow of whatever I'm doing, whether I'm writing, making videos, creating, really. Versus other days, it's integrator. It's have to do blank, have to do this, and it's so monotonous, but you need both. If I had to sum it up into 3 problems that most people in business have, number 1 is they don't have the personal growth needed to actually succeed in X thing because they have not yet become that person that makes that shit happen. That's the main thing I think people struggle with in business. Number 2, entrepreneurs may not realize how much they're literally legit just playing out mommy and daddy issues at work. That's if not the first, but like the second thing, main challenges in the entrepreneurship world. And 3, I think this one's like the absolute best one that I resonate with so much. Entrepreneurs have to be fucking crazy. Like crazy. And literally are like, man, I would never do that. I would never, like, nope, not happening. I'm not doing it. And that's when I realized, like, even for myself, I was thinking about it. It's been a little over 10 years now that I've been in the entrepreneurship space, if not more, but like hardcore, like I would say like full-time, heads in the game, like there's like full focus, right? Full passion. Not a day goes by that I don't think about all the things that I've done, that I've tried, that I've tried my uttermost to figure out for the betterment of understanding better systems, understanding better sales, understanding better marketing. Insert here. Any single person would be like, damn, that's some crazy shit. Like, you were willing to do that to get that took you 5 years to nurture? Yeah. And that's the piece, that was the missing puzzle piece, that I realized that something that is crafted and took a year to make is not the same thing as something that took 2 motherfucking days to make. We are not the same. We are not the same. Man, equally important, equally impactful, equally insert here. But we are not the same. And that's where I sincerely think that the more a person fails in business, fails in entrepreneurship, fails in relationships, terrible parent, whatever, insert here, the more you're willing to go through that with grace, compassion, but also resilience, that's what makes you a winner in entrepreneurship. That. Literally, it's the person you become in the process. Success is the woman you become in the process. Yeah. So, I'll leave it here, but this is just a bit of what I've discovered in probably like the last 90 days. Every day some new feature pops up, and every day I try one out and figure it out, but I think there's something to be said about integration. I don't know, maybe I never will, but how the whole process of integration works for different hurts, different experiences, different desires, right? I'm not sure if I'll ever figure it out, but my hunch is that the more identity alignment there is with who that character helps, and then the next layer is where it's aligned for both receiver and giver, that's the quicker you have success in business. It's you are to serve, and the customer is receiving something, and when there is a equal exchange or greater, it just flows. It's like energy, it'll just keep on going. But when there's a mismatch, it starts having this. It's up and downs. Right? Like some months, 6 figures. Some months, 7 figures. And then you get the idea, right? I think I will ask, if you got to this point, okay? Throw me a question that is in that deep space that I told you about, the one where the hurts live. Ask me a question about that, and I guarantee you that puzzle piece, if you choose to receive it, will help you tremendously in so many different ways of your life, not just for business, not just at work, not just for your kids, but in so many pieces of you. It will help you become your own healer in putting all the pieces together for yourself. So shoot me that question, and I'll share a little bit later this week more about what I've been learning lately in this season or stage that I'm in for my consciousness. Okay, bye.